Hello everyone and welcome to the June 2026 edition of Inside Kensington Gymnastics. June is always one of the most important months in our calendar because this is the month when Kensington and Chelsea Gymnastics Academy celebrates its anniversary. KCGA was founded in June 2022, which means that this month we are celebrating our 4th year as a gymnastics club, and every year we mark this anniversary in the best way possible through gymnastics. Our annual performance brings together our gymnasts across Kensington, Chelsea and Knightsbridge and gives children an opportunity to share some of what they have been working towards throughout the year. So, this month's update is a particularly special one. We will look back at our 4th anniversary celebrations and our annual performance, recognize our 2026 Gymnast of the Year, and share some other important moments from what was been a very full June of here at the Kensington and Chelsea Gymnastics Academy. The center of June at KCGA was our annual performance, and this year's celebration was particularly special. June marks 4 years since Kensington and Chelsea Gymnastics Academy was founded, and our 2026 annual performance brought our communities together to celebrate that anniversary. KCGA began in June 2022, and 4 years later, as we complete our 4th year and prepare to begin our 5th, the Academy has grown into 3 gymnastics communities across Kensington, Chelsea and Knightsbridge. Our annual performance is really the moment each year we celebrate that journey. This year's performances took place across St. Philip's Church in Kensington, Morehouse School in Knightsbridge, and Parkwalk Primary School in Chelsea. From some of our youngest gymnasts taking part in their first KCGA performance, to children who have been with us for several years, everyone had an opportunity to show something they have been developing in their gymnastics. And this is what makes this week so important. It isn't about producing a perfect performance. It is about giving every child a moment to participate, to demonstrate their progress, and to feel that they are part of something. And I think reaching 4 years gives this year's performance another meaning as well. For our existing families, it is an opportunity to look back and see how much their children and the academy around them have developed. And for families who may only recently have discovered KCGA, I hope it also gives a sense of the community behind what they are joining. 4 years of weekly classes, 4 years of children learning gymnastics, 4 years of performances, competitions, coaches, families, and memories. And now, as KCGA prepares to enter its 5th year, our responsibility is to continue developing the academy while protecting the things that have mattered from the beginning. Individual attention, thoughtful coaching, and an environment where children can progress with confidence. So, Annual Performance Week is not simply an event at the end of the year. For us, it is our anniversary celebration and a chance once every year to bring together what KCGA has become and celebrate the people who have helped build it. Annual Performance Week also included one of our most important student recognitions. Our KCGA Gymnast of the Year for 2026 is
Sofia!
Sofia joined KCGA in October 2024 and has shown excellent commitment and consistency throughout her time with the academy. She also became KCGA's first children's competition medalists, winning silver on floor at the high 10 individual competition. But Gymnast of the Year isn't simply an award for the gymnast who can perform the most difficult skills or achieve the best competition result. It is the highest individual award we present at KCGA, and it recognizes the wider qualities we want to encourage through gymnastics: commitment, effort, resilience, attitude, sportsmanship, and personal development. And this year, Sofia has been a wonderful example of these qualities. Congratulations, Sofia, on becoming our 2026 KCGA Gymnast of the Year. There is also something important about annual performance that goes beyond the gymnastics itself. One thing these events remind us is that confidence doesn't always come before we do something. Sometimes confidence comes because we did it. A child might not feel completely ready to perform in front of other people, but if the environment is supportive, the challenge is appropriate, and they're given the opportunity to participate without unnecessary pressure, completing that experience can become something very positive. They discover that they were capable of doing something that perhaps felt uncomfortable beforehand. And this is a useful lesson well beyond gymnastics. So, when we talk about developing confidence through sport, we shouldn't necessarily think about creating children who never feel nervous. Part of confidence is learning that feeling a little nervous is okay, and discovering that you can still take part. June also included a major competition for me personally, the 2026 Adult Gymnastics British Championships at Lilleshall National Sports Centre. For adult and master gymnasts in Britain, this is one of the biggest dates in the competitive calendar, effectively the national championships, and an opportunity for adult gymnasts who are not elite at professional level from clubs across the country to come together and compete. So masters gymnastics is something I'm particularly passionate about. If you don't know, master gymnasts are gymnasts who continue training and competing as adults, sometimes after many years in the sport and sometimes after returning to gymnastics later in life. And I think this is something very, very powerful. Gymnastics is often seen as a sport for young people, but masters gymnastics challenges this idea. It shows that sport can remain part of our identity as we grow older, not necessarily by trying to train exactly as we did when we were teenagers, but by adapting, continuing to challenge ourselves, and finding ways to stay strong and capable enough to do some of those amazing gymnastic skills. For me, personally, this is a big part of what aging well through sport means. I don't want gymnastics simply to be something I used to do. I want it to remain part of my life as long as I can train safely, enjoy the challenge, and continuing setting myself meaningful goals. So this year's British Gymnastics Championships marked my fourth consecutive appearance following 2023, 2024 and 2025. So I competed in the Mac Pro 30 plus category and was delighted to win the silver medal in the all-around competition representing Kensington and Chelsea Gymnastics Academy. And there was something particularly satisfying about this moment. Only a few months earlier, at the Masters World Cup in the United States, I finished fourth on rings, just outside the medals. Then came another period of training, another competition, another opportunity at the British Championships, The opportunity ended with a place on the podium, and perhaps that is another reason I value Masters Gymnastics so much. It keeps giving you reasons to train, it gives you goals to work towards, and it remains really part of my life. It tells me that this progress, the competition, the personal achievement don't have to belong only to the early part of my life.
Presentation for the men's artistic pro over 30. In third place and winner of the bronze medal representing Kensington Gym Club, Sofia. In seventh place and winner of the silver medal representing Kensington Chelsea Gymnastics Academy, Stefan Kolimechkov. And in third place, winner of the gold medal representing Kensington Gym Club, your men's artistic pro over 30 champion, Warren.
And hey, for young gymnasts here at the Kensington Chelsea Gymnastics Academy, I hope there is a simple message from all of this that I'm sharing here. Gymnastics can be much more than childhood activity. It can become a sport for life. June also brings the publication of issue 3 of Kensington Gymnastics magazine. And I think this issue represents quite an important step forward for the magazine. We have introduced a completely new design and a much clearer identity around what we ultimately want this publication to become: London's family gymnastics guide. The ambition is to create something that families can genuinely return to, a magazine that explains gymnastics through science, coaching experience, and the wider culture of the sport, but does so in a way that remains clear, accessible, and enjoyable to read. Issue 3 explores a really broad range of subjects. We look at what gymnastics may do for the growing brain, how the core organizes movement, why protein matters for growing children, the importance of sleep and recovery, balance through lifestyle and lifespan, and some of the shapes and terminology children hear in their gymnastics classes. And there is also someone new joining us in this issue. This is Chelsea. Chelsea is the new illustrated gymnast of Kensington Gymnastics magazine. She was created especially for our younger readers to take some of the ideas that can sometimes feel quite scientific or grown up and bring them closer to a child's world. She represents the curiosity, effort, and questions of young gymnasts. And when Chelsea appears throughout the magazine, she helps explain an important idea in simpler language. I really like the development because I don't want this magazine to be something that only parents read while children are left out of the conversation. I would love families to explore it together. For a parent to read something, for a child to notice Chelsea on the page, and perhaps for that to start a conversation about something they have experienced themselves in gymnastics. And that is really where I see the magazine going. With this new design, the deeper educational content, and now Chelsea helping us speak directly to younger gymnasts as well as their parents, I think we're getting much closer to the publication I originally imagined. A trusted family guide to gymnastics, created here in London, the best city in the world, for London families, but useful to anyone who wants to understand the sport more deeply. Issue 3 is now available to read, and I would really encourage our KCGA families to take a look. The June edition of the Kensington Chelsea Gymnastics newsletter is also now available, and Appropriately, this month's issue is a special annual performance and 4th anniversary edition. It brings together the celebrations from across our venues, our Gymnast of the Year, and some of the other stories from what has been a very full month of KCGA. So, if you'd like more details of June, you can find the full issue on our website. And although annual performance feels like a natural culmination of the academic year here, we are not quite finished yet. On the 5th of July, the KCGA Gymnasts will take part in the London Community Competition, giving really another opportunity of our club to go and really enjoy ourselves through gymnastics, represent ourselves, and this will be through competitive gymnastics. So our regular summer term classes will then continue until the 11th of July, bringing another full year of gymnastics across Kensington, Chelsea and Knightsbridge to a close. And July will also take KCGA beyond London once again. I'll be traveling to Lausanne in Switzerland for the annual Congress of the European College of Sport Science, ECSS, where I'll be presenting our gymnastics research and taking part in the scientific program there, chairing some amazing sessions and meeting researchers and experts in sports science and health through around the world. So there are still a few more stories to come before the summer break, and I'll bring those together in the July update. When I look back at June, I think our 4th anniversary and annual performance capture the month particularly well. Gymnastics development can sometimes be difficult to see from one week to the other, but occasionally you get a moment where you can look back and recognize just how much has changed. And perhaps the same is true for our gymnastics club. 4 years ago, KCGA was just beginning. Today, we have gymnastics communities across Kensington, Chelsea and Knightsbridge, and we're preparing to begin our 5th year. Thank you to every gymnast who took part in this year's annual performance, to our coaches, to our families, and to everyone who has contributed to KCGA's first 4 years. And congratulations again to Sofia, our 2026 Gymnast of the Year here in our academy. Thank you for watching Inside Kensington Gymnastics, and I will see you again in July.